Welcome and thank you for joining us. We are dealing with a quadratic function in the form of y is equals to 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. Remember, this is a quadratic function, and quadratic functions are U-shaped, meaning they turn at some point, and therefore I want to start by looking at the turning point of the curve. Remember, at turning point of the curve, the dy over dx is usually equal to 0. dy over dx means the change in y over change in x, which is the gradient function. So if you differentiate the given function, that is 2x squared plus 4x minus 3, you will get 4x plus 4, and then you equate this to 0. 4x is going to be equal to negative 4. You divide both sides by 4, x is going to be equal to negative 1. Once you get the value of x, you can get the value of y by substituting the value of x in the main function. That is 2 into negative 1 squared plus 4 into x, which is 1, negative minus 3, and this one is going to give us negative 5. So meaning the turning point of the curve is negative 1, negative 5. So from here now we can fill the table. When we have x negative 4, then we are going to have 4 times x, which is negative 4 minus 3, giving us negative 19. Then when x is negative 3, 2x squared is going to be 18 here. And when it is negative 3, then 4x minus 3 is going to give us negative 15. And when it is negative 1, then 4x minus 3 is going to be negative 7 here. Then when it is positive 1, it is going to be 2. And when it is positive 1, 4x minus 3 will be equal to 1. And when it is 2, 2x squared is going to be 8. And by so doing, we have finished filling the table. Now we get the values of x by adding these two columns here. We get the values of y, The values of y are going to be 32 plus minus 19, giving us 13. Then 18 plus minus 15, you get positive 3. Then we have 2 plus minus 7, which is going to give us a negative 5. And then 0 plus negative 3, you get negative 3. And by so doing, now we have our complete table. That way, we have secured our 2 marks. Then now we go down and plot our graph. On the grid provided, draw the graph of this function here between x is negative 4 and positive 2. The highest value for y is positive 13, and therefore I will be forced to come down here and put my graph at this particular point here. This is where we are going to have the origin. Then on the x-axis, we are going to use 1 centimeter to represent 1 unit. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. This is the x-axis. Then we are going to have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, up to around negative 5. Then on the y-axis, we are going to take 1 centimeter to represent 2 units. We are going to have negative 2, negative 4, and of course negative 6 here. Then we are going to have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and lastly 14 there. So we have used a scale of, in the x-axis, one box is 1 centimeter, which represents 1 unit. and on which represents 1 unit, and on y-axis 1 centimeter here represents 2 units. It is usually very important that you quote your scale there. So now we can go and start plotting. When x is -4, y is 13 positive, -4, 13. -4, 13 is here. When x is -3, it is +3. -3, we have +3 is between +2 and +4. And when x is -2, it is -3. -2, -3 is here. When x is -1, this is actually our turning point. At this point, as you can see from this particular point, -1, -5, -1, -5 is here. This is our turning point. When it is when x is 0, it is -3. 0, it is -3 at this point here. When it is when x is 1, it is +3 at this point here. And finally, when x is +2, y is +13. +2, +13 is up here. So once we have done that, now we can draw our curve by joining all the plotted points. So we are going to join all the plotted points for us to get our curve. This is our turning point here. That's what we have. So once you join all the plotted points, you come and label your curve. Y is equals to, we have 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. And now we have completely done that particular part. It is always important after finishing your curve, you label it. Then once we are done with part B, we can now go to C and work out part C. In order to solve graphically this equation here, a straight line must be drawn. A straight line must be drawn to intersect the curve 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. Determine the equation of this straight line and hence obtain the roots of the equation. This is very simple. We take the main function, which is y is equal to 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. Then we subtract the function that we are supposed to find its roots. That is 2x squared plus x minus 5 is equal to 0. When you subtract the 2, y minus 0 will give us y being equal to 2x squared will give you 0 plus 4x minus x will give us 3x, and minus 5 minus minus 5 will give us positive 2. That means y is going to be equal to 3x plus 2. From here now we can make a table having the values of x and y. for us to draw that particular line. If we assume the value of x is 0, then 3 times 0 plus 2, you get 2. And when x is, for example, 2, we are going to have 3 times 2, which is 6 plus 2, giving us 8. Those 2 points are enough for us to draw our line. From there, we can come to the graph and draw this line or plot these points. When x is 0, y is positive 2 at this point here. And when x is positive 2 at this point, y is 8. Positive 2, y is 8 at this particular point. Now we use a ruler to join the 2 points so that the line will intersect the curve. This is how we are going to do it. That is the line we have there. So once we have this line, we can come and label it. We have y is equal to 3x plus 2. Again, for you to score, you must always label that line. So the solutions are going to be where these two intersect. These are the points. So you always show how you have gotten them by drawing the line towards the x-axis. So we are going to have that particular point. This is where we are going to pick the first value of x from. And also this particular point here, you draw the line towards the x-axis for you to be able to get that particular point there. So we are going to have our line drawn this way. We usually use a broken line towards the x-axis, and you can see the 2 points are here. Therefore, the first value of x is going to be around 1.25, which is approximately 1.3, and the other value of x is going to be negative around 1.9, negative 1.9. Those are the two values of x at the points where the curve and the line intersect. Thank you for watching and welcome to our discussions. And in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two. You click the subscribe button so that anytime we publish a video like this, you'll automatically be given a notification. Thank you and welcome.